about it. Hi, I'm Skye.
And I'm DINA.
And we're the Almost Doctors. And this is an OEB Science Cafe short. Now, this is a follow-up on Scott Schneider's ant thing, but it's not about ants. I know.
How dare we?
Well, so I have a toy poodle.
Okay.
Her name is Puppy.
Adorable.
She is adorable. She's my little Muppet. And I love her, so, you know, I have to bring her into this.
Right.
And so one of the things that Scott talked about was domestication.
Yes.
And so when I look at this little, tiny, fuzzy Muppet dog, what I'm actually looking at is a descendant of a wolf.
Terrifying.
Terrifying, right? This dog is not a wolf. She is scared of squirrels. She will not walk on grass. But she was eventually a wolf. And if you look at her, she is not only behaviorally very different from wolves.
She's physically.
She's physically very different from wolves. And this is a weird evolutionary question, right? Because we know that evolution works on traits, but does it have to work on all the different traits differently? That would seem like a lot of work.
That would seem like a lot of work.
Right?
Yeah.
Because dogs are domesticated, you know, tens of thousands of years ago into wolves, and now we have all the, or wolves, dogs into wolves, wolves into dogs, and now we have all these different dog breeds.
Right.
That seems like a really short amount of time.
Right.
And this was something that really baffled scientists, and in particular it baffled a Soviet scientist called Dmitry Belyaev.
Okay.
I am from Alaska.
So
We can see Russia from there, so I can pronounce this.
yeah, you got the
You can trust me on the pronunciation. And so back in the 60s, he was really interested in exactly how this happened. And so he set out to do this mega experiment to figure it out.
What did he do?
Well, what he did is he went to fur farms and he took around 100 Arctic foxes, or silver foxes. I know, they are very cute.
Adorable.
They're these kind of dark uniform foxes. They have little fox faces, long puffy tails. They're really sweet. And what he did is he selected foxes in particular that were not jerks.
They weren't aggressive.
They were not aggressive, yes. They were non-aggressive foxes. And he took them and he began to breed them. And what he would do is he would breed them, and then they would have babies, and then he would take all the babies that were friendly and breed them. And then he would take all the babies that were super not friendly.
And he'd breed them.
And he would breed them. And so he formed two populations. One population of foxes that were super friendly, and one population of foxes that were not friendly.
And how friendly are we talking here?
Well, so after 4 generations, these foxes would wag their tail when they saw you.
Like a dog.
4 generations, like a dog, they wag their tail. After 8 generations, they would leap out of their cage into your arm and lick your face.
Oh my god.
8 generations.
I want one.
And so these were like the super friendly foxes. And so after 10 generations, 18% of this population were these super friendly foxes.
That's a significant
Yes.
change.
20 generations later, 30% of these foxes.
30%.
Now I'm going to blow your mind because this experiment's still going on today.
Still. Okay. What's the
This is like the
percentage
world's
today?
longest thing. So today, back in 2009, they actually looked, and they had 70 to 80% of their population were these super friendly foxes.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you can see that just in the time from 1959 to 2009, right? What is that? 50 years?
Right.
You have a population of almost entirely friendly foxes. And I mean, these are friendly foxes.
These are like dog foxes.
These are dog foxes, right? They
And-
like to be held, they like to be cuddled and kissed and all this kind of stuff.
So
right?
what you're telling me basically is that we can see evolution happening.
We can see evolution happening, and not only that, but not only were these foxes behaviorally different, they begin to physically look very different.
Physically different how?
Well, they have little floppy ears. They have little curly waggy tails. They have short little legs, short little faces. They started to get patches of white fur. Essentially, they started to look like dogs. And interestingly, they started to look like baby foxes. And so this began the idea that perhaps what's actually happening when we domesticate a dog is that we're kind of stunting it at a point where it remains a puppy.
Baby-like.
It's a baby wolf, right?
Right.
It's curious, it's friendly, it's nice, it's floppy. And so this is a form of evolution called neoteny. And we can look at it as a way of evolution kind of stopping a developmental force. And so evolution doesn't have to work on everything.
Right.
If you get it working on the right thing,
You can pull all these other things.
you can
with it.
pull all these other things together.
Cool.
And so these are all part of this domestication toolbox. And so you could argue, well, foxes are like dogs, and so maybe it's just a dog thing, blah, blah, blah. But he actually did this on other stuff.
Like what?
Like rats.
Domesticated rats.
Very adorable domesticated rats. And minks. And he discovered pretty much the same thing, that this could work in both ways.
Wow.
Yes, I know.
That's really cool.
I know. And so, in other words, it's a really great example of how evolution can work in more powerful ways than we really understand and we know.
Very cool.
And so I personally would love to get a fox kiss.
So would I.
I would snuggle.
Absolutely.
I would snuggle face a fox. So hardcore. And so with that in mind, I'm Skye.
And I'm DINA.
And go forth and do science.